Hi, I'm Ken. This is the 17th in a series of booklets I've been producing for my great granddaughter Ruby, who's in year 7. Ruby's 11. They're not lessons, they're just booklets to reinforce what she's been learning from school. I thought that might be good for her because she can't go to school at the moment. There's a list at the back of this video, or an index of all the booklets I produce, if you're interested. And they can be found on my YouTube, Kenneth Mallison. That's just one word, Kenneth Mallison. This one is called Electricity and Electric Circuits. When I was younger, I watched Star Trek on TV. Often Captain Kirk would call, "Beam me aboard, Scotty." Then in a flash, Captain Kirk would be transported from the planet into the spaceship. I thought, that's impossible. Then again, at that time, I thought space travel was impossible. But now we have seen men on the moon. So maybe nothing's impossible, only improbable. If we take a block of ice, heat it until it changes from a solid to a liquid, to water, then transport it to some other point, freeze it, and we're back to a block of ice again. So that's some sort of transportation, isn't it? How do we do that? This is because everything, even us, is made of billions of small bits fastened together. These are called atoms. In ice, they are very tightly held together, so it is a solid. When we energize or heat it, the bits start to move apart and soon form a liquid. These can then be moved closer again by energizing, freezing it. After all bits, why can't we transport people? I saw a human teletransported in the film The Fly. So it would be possible, wasn't it? If you could break the body down, it would be impossible to put it back together in the original form. It is too complicated. In the film, a fly got mixed up with a man's bits, and he ended up with a fly's head on his body. Very funny, but very scary at the time. But the human body is made up of all sorts of parts, hydrogen, water, and all sorts. So it was very difficult to put it back together again. I'm going to use the word impossible because I think it's impossible. Anyway, back to the atom. It is extremely small and a bit like a planetary system, with a centre part surrounded by other parts called electrons. This is just simple. There are other bits besides the electrons and bits in the centre, but I'm interested in the middle bit and the electrons. If we apply enough energy, we can pull these electrons away. These form the basis of the flow of electrical energy. We can make these move by applying a positive force, so they move towards the positive. To make them move, we need an electromotive force, EMF. In an electrical circuit, this is usually provided by a cell. The cell has a symbol like this, positive, negative. If we connect some cells together, like this, we get a battery. The difference between the positive and the negative is called the potential difference and is measured in volts. If we connect the positive to the negative, then the charge moves to the positive side of the battery. The rate at which they move per second is the electric current, I, measured in amperes with units A. Current moves from the positive side to the negative side. In practice, we need something to slow the current down a bit. This is a resistor. A resistor opposes current, unlike a conductor, which allows current to flow, and has units ohms, the funny symbol, the Greek symbol omega. To stop the current altogether, we use an insulator. So, for an electrical circuit, we need an energy source, potential difference, e.g. a battery, a conductor, often a copper wire, a resistor. In my circuit, I use lamps. For a current to flow, we must have a complete connection between positive and. These are some symbols used in electric circuit. There's a supply, a resistor, a lamp, which has resistance as well, and a switch. It's a simple circuit. We have the supply, a switch, and a lamp as a resistor. With the switch down, current flows around the circuit. If you look carefully, you'll see that the current all through the circuit is the same value. So the current doesn't change through the circuit. The lamp is lit up. In this case, the lamp is resistance. If we increase the voltage, and don't change the resistance, then the current will increase. If we keep the voltage the same, but increase R, in this case by adding another lamp, then the current will decrease. See, the lamps have gone dimmer, and the current is now only 14 milliamps. This leads to a formula for a circuit. Voltage equals current times resistance. V equals I times R. For the lamps to light up, we must have a complete circuit. This diagram shows the switch open, so the circuit is not complete. No current flows, the lamps are unlit. So if you see a break in the circuit, the lamps won't light. Copper is a good conductor of current and is used in most cables. There are other conductors such as aluminium, iron, etc. Insulators include wood and rubber. Water is also a conductor, so don't play with anything electrical when you're having a bath. The results could be shocking. This is the index of the leaflets or booklets I've made for Ruby. Quite a few, there's 17 altogether. Quite a lot of maths and a bit on science at the moment. I'll probably do some more, but at the moment there are 17 booklets which can be found again on my website, Kenneth Mallison. So if you're interested, please look them up on YouTube. They may be useful for your daughters or sons who are at the same age. I've tried to make them fairly easy to understand. As I said, they're not lessons, they're just a guide to help Ruby with her work at school. Bye for now.